Hello everyone. Well, for today's video I thought that I would show you this computer that is being repurposed. I've had it for many years and it has seen a lot of work. I started my second freelance business with this computer and ran it for probably 3 or 4 years, and then it became more of my personal computer, and then finally it moved on to my son, who used it for probably about 3 years. So he just recently got a new MacBook, so he freed up this computer and I am going to be cleaning it and hopefully repurposing it for like a server or something like that. So it's fairly old, but it still works perfectly well. It's just a little slow nowadays. Okay, so now let's start to clean a little bit more of this dust off of this old computer. So I have a brush here that we're going to use, and I also have a black rag, which will be very dramatic, wiping up the dust. You'll be able to see it very well. So okay, well that took a bit to get out, so I cut all those loud noises out. But I wanted to get back in here and clean back behind this component here. It's really dusty back in there. It always feels very good to me to clean up things like this. I think it's very cathartic. Especially if you've had a day that you don't feel like you've accomplished much, either because you got frustrated every time you tried to do something, or you're in the middle of a project that you haven't completed yet, so it feels like you're just spinning your wheels. If you clean something, you usually feel a much greater sense of accomplishment because there's a specific end goal that is relatively easy to reach, and you can be physically active in accomplishing that goal. I find that for me, a lot of times if I'm doing design work or web work, it's a lot of mental energy, but I'm sitting behind the desk the whole time, so I can feel like I haven't done much all day, even though I've been frantically working on a project. And cleaning the computer is always nice because it's a little bit different than like doing the dishes or something like that, which can be very mundane. This is unique enough that it's actually kind of fun. I would always volunteer to clean out the old computers at my old job down in Florida. When someone was moving an office or a new person was coming in, or one time we were upgrading the computers and I did all the upgrades. I got to go in and use the can of air and blow them all out and clean them up. I enjoyed that, except for one that the lady who used it was a very, very heavy smoker, and the whole inside of the computer was just caked with tar, and it smelled terrible. That one was not a fun computer, but I had to do it because all of the files that we needed were on that computer, and it wasn't working very well, so I had to pull the hard drive out of it, and just opening it up was nasty. But most of the time they're not like that. It's mostly just dust that they've picked up while they've been running. I usually don't like to put computers on the floor for that reason. It seems to really increase the amount of dust they pick up for obvious reasons. I usually try to keep mine up on the desk. Where hopefully they will not encounter quite as much dust. I think this desk is uneven, or computers are a little uneven. or both. Keeps wobbling back and forth. Okay, so here is the component that was up here in this area that I pulled out. You can see the fan here and the speaker, and then these were two wires that plugged into the motherboard, which is this big blue board that is behind everything else. And you can tell that this did not get cleaned quite as thoroughly as the rest of it, and there's quite a bit of dust on here. Try not to sneeze with all this dust. See what it looks like back here. Okay, well that definitely looks a little bit better. A lot of the major dust is off of it, and that's good. Here's the big two fans that came out of here. They got cleaned with the air a little bit better. There's still a few sections that need to be brushed off. Especially right here. Okay. Put that there. So now we've cleaned most of this area up here, and we're down here near the bottom where all the dust has fallen down from the other sections. I thought about doing a video where I took everything apart, took all the hard drives out and the graphics card and the memory and stuff, but since I plan on continuing to use this computer and I don't really need to take all that stuff out, I opted just to do this little cleaning video. If for some reason I can't use this computer, I will think about doing a video where I take everything apart. But I also don't know how loud that would be. how tedious it would be with just watching me unscrew things and pull on them and get frustrated, because sometimes the screws are pretty tightly set, and if you need to unscrew something, sometimes it takes quite a bit more force than you realize. I don't think this part comes out very easily. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I believe it probably is unscrewing some things and pulling it out. But I think that pretty much covers everything that needed to be cleaned in here. I'm going to put it back together, plug it in, and see. I believe I probably will put in at least one new hard drive. These are pretty small. See if I can get a terabyte hard drive to fit in here, and that'll help with the memory and the capabilities of this computer, and possibly make it a server for my family so we can store music on it, or maybe play some networked games, or store some movies on it and stream them. I'm not sure yet. So this fan I'm going to put in later, because I need to get in there and plug in these two components. So I will do that near the end. But this should just slide right in. And this little plastic tab is guided by this slot in the metal. And you just push it in like that. And the plug makes the connection, and it's ready to go. The other thing that needs a little bit of dusting is this metal, this plastic cover here. Just a little wipe down. And that slips on right like that. And that is pretty much ready. I'll put that fan in, and then I will see where we are with this computer. I hope I'm able to use it. I did a lot on this computer. I would hate to see it not be useful anymore. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and I have many more videos to make for you all. Thanks. Bye.